Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are coming here with the next game in the series. This is going to be a game from the loser's bracket once again. It is going to be between PanamaRed, the yellow Terran in the top right-hand corner, and Poonpounder, the red Zerg, in the bottom left-hand corner. The map is going to be the new Blizzard map, Korhal Compound. And I just want to go ahead and just apologize in advance if you guys can hear any background noise. There are quite a few people in this room and they are all talking. And so it could get a little loud. Hopefully it's not being picked up too much or not too much over my voice. But guys, I am so excited right now because I am casting a game with a Zerg in it. Finally, which is so exciting because, again, as I've said multiple times, I play Zerg, so when I can cast with the Zerg in it, I can see what's happening, and we say, Poonpounder saying, "Come far you have from being a silver newbie, may we battle well." And I've, so far from what I've heard people saying, Poonpounder is the underdog in this matchup. They think that PanamaRed is going to be winning in this game, saying tra-la-la. And of course, as I said, this is a tournament just at my school, and so this is kind of, everyone here is just kind of relaxed. The people here are friends with each other, so it is not actually, it's not that intense competition. Of course, everyone does want to win, but most everyone does know each other, so everyone is doing pretty well and just having fun with this tournament right here. So it looks like we are going to be seeing a hatch first from Poonpounder. Nothing out of the ordinary with that. The 15 hatch is just one of the most standard builds against a Terran player. Against a Protoss, of course, you never go hatch first because of the risk of being cannoned out. But you don't have to worry about that in this matchup, just because of the fact that there is a 2 racks, but if you do go for the 15 hatch, you will be in fine shape if you manage your units correctly. So we'll have to see, is PanamaRed going to be going some kind of like a bunker, wall off, anything like that? But no, he's just going to be doing more scouting. He does not have a second barracks on the way. Be interesting. There we go. There's the orbital command coming out, and I'd like to see a gas coming out soon from PanamaRed. I would not be at all surprised to see him going for some kind of a reactor Hellion play, just because that's just what happens in Terran versus Zerg in the current metagame. So for right now, PanamaRed not showing anything yet. He actually, come to think of it, I think he will be going for a 1-racks expand. He's not thrown down another barracks. He just restarted SCV production, but there are no gases, and he only has 1 racks, hence the 1-racks expand. This is a very nice thing to do, especially because, again, there's a pretty small choke here, pretty manageable versus early game units. With this maybe 1 bunker right here can do a pretty good job managing everything right there. And so there it is. There's the command center coming down. And Poonpounder saying, "How I miss my Overlord." I guess he did indeed lose that to a unit perhaps at some point. I was actually exactly sure that would have happened. The SCV just sitting down here, checking to see whether there is going to be a 3rd expansion coming out anytime soon. And so right now, Poonpounder does not know exactly what's happening. He does not have any Zerglings on the field yet. Actually, that's very surprising. It would be good of him to get maybe just 2 or 3 for the map control. It also seems he's not going to be pulling off gas. Could be going for some kind of a roach play, which of course would be very nice to do. But for now, he is just macroing up a little bit, but he has no idea what is going on in the Terran base. He doesn't know whether there's some kind of timing push or whether there is some kind of macro play like is what is currently happening in this game. So that is a little, I would say a little nerve-wracking. I know as a Zerg, if you don't know what's going on the map, I always get very scared personally. But Poonpounder has a nice healthy drone count. He's at 27 drones over 22 SCVs, grabbing the creep tumor. It looks like he is going to try and build a spine. Or he was thinking about it, but he sent it back to return those minerals. And right now, we see PanamaRed getting the orbital command, and I'd imagine once the orbital command is done and this bunker is on the way, he will be expanding. And so Poonpounder sending his Overlord down here, and he's actually grabbing a fast 3rd expansion. And the thing I don't like about that, ladies and gentlemen, is totally blind. He's playing a little bit risky right here. He is going to be getting the Roach Warren just there to help wall off this a little bit in case of Hellions, and he's just going to be making sure that he can start up with those Spore Crawlers if needed for like a drop or a Banshee play, and he can start off getting those early Zergling upgrades. Looks like he will be sniping this Overlord right here. The Overlord did not see very much. It just saw the Reactor and Tech Lab, but he will know that those are a little bit late. And so I'm being told in chat, props to me for not laughing when I say Poonpounder, but I am a very serious man. I am a serious caster. I do not laugh at people's names, Nate. I'm not a mean person like you. But actually, Nate's pretty awesome, so I'm just joking. But right now, it is getting a little loud in this room, so focusing is a little difficult. I might talk to everyone a little bit after this game. But everything going well right now. Poonpounder should probably start getting some units. His third is about to finish. He does have a good number of Zerglings coming out. He's not getting any sort of upgrades, though. No sort of tech so far. Hardly any units have been lost, only by the Zerg. But these Marines are going to get cleaned up, and for the first time this game, Poonpounder does have some control of the map. He knows what's going on, but PanamaRed is going to see this expansion. He knows what is coming up. He knows that there is a fast third, and there's a Spire coming down for Poonpounder, along with a Baneling Nest. So it looks like we will be seeing the pretty standard old-school Mutaling-Baneling composition, as opposed to the newer Ling Infestor composition. That is personally what I prefer. Just because the control with mutas, it just has to be so impeccable to actually not become absolutely screwed by a single misclick. So for now, both players once again just kind of macroing up. There's been very little action in this game. We've just lost a few Zerglings, drones, and 2 Marines. Almost nothing has happened so far. We see Stimpak about to finish up. Combat Geode is queued to be started right after that. And I'd also love to see PanamaRed throw down an engineering base, start off with those upgrades, just so he can really start to get ahead. The upgrades are what is so key, especially when, as we see, Poonpounder is just starting to get his evolution chamber just now, and he's not even going to be starting the upgrades too quickly. So if Poonpounder, or if PanamaRed does start the upgrades and he can get ahead, the Zerg player will not be in good shape. He does spot that SCV. He is going to be killing it. Is not going to be able to run. It pulls a bunch of drones to try and kill it as well. And he's actually very oversaturated here. His base not mining off of this geyser either. So a little bit of a misstep getting the fast overlords as well. His Spire just finished. So it'd be good to see some mutas. There are 5 mutas in the production tab currently. It looks like he has the Zergling sitting just outside the base, making sure there is no push out, but there is going to be a push out very soon. Looks like he has a chance of seeing this, and he will see some units starting to move out. He should be pulling them back, and yes, there he goes. And there's going to be a potential push at the front as well as a drop going on, but there is a chance. Let's take a look at where this drop is rallied. Is it told to go? And yes, it looks like it's going directly through the head of the Overlord, so there is a good chance that it could be spotted. But Poonpounder, he needs to make sure he's mining all of his gases. He's got 6 geysers currently, but he's only mining off of 4 of them. Which, over the course of a game, when you're going for something like mutas and banelings, very gas heavy, of course, that can really start to add up. We have a whole bunch of units coming around here, and Poonpounder finally starting to get some Zerglings, get some units. It will be a question, will he have seen this drop coming? He's going to fly through a whole bunch of other Overlords, but there's an attack coming at the third at the same time. Very good 2-pronged attack from PanamaRed, and it looks like Poonpounder is not reacting to this drop taking place. He's going to start dropping now. We'll have to look at the minimap, see where the units are going to be going, and attack running into the third at the same time. The units are going to be running into the main to try and clean up that drop, but at the same time, a whole bunch of drones at the third dying. The third is most likely going to go down, and great positioning on the Marines. The Zerglings are going to try and get us around, and they will, yes, they will be able to clean up that drop. 2 of the Marines being saved, but at the same time, the third has been absolutely demolished by PanamaRed. And Poonpounder just lost about 16 workers. These Marines should possibly be able to clean up these Zerglings, and we do see the 1-1 on the way from PanamaRed compared to just the +1 just starting from Poonpounder. So he is currently not in great situation just because he lost a lot on the economy, and he's saying, why do I suck so bad now? So right now, it looks like his play, yeah, you can tell he might be a little rusty. His play is a little off. PanamaRed throwing out the frowny face. Of course, no one likes sucking at StarCraft. Everyone knows the Stim trying to save those Marines. It would have been nice to maybe see Poonpounder run in there, try and pick those units off. He does have, because of League of Legends, he's saying that happens to many a player. It's never fun when that happens to a friend of yours that plays StarCraft. But he needs to try and get some drones back in this base mining. He is currently only on 46 drones to 50 SCVs. That is not good for him. He is starting to get mutas, and I'm not sure, where did those ones earlier? I guess those are the 5 from earlier. He has 6 more in production, but the thing with the mutas, you really need to do some harass with them. And he is going to start spreading out his overlords, get a bit of a creep highway going to what could be his potential 4th base. And he has had pretty good creep spread up to this point, but he has not been able to get over here. And that will hurt him if he needs to do any kind of flanking, anything like that. His units will not be as fast, but he really, yes, he does need to go try and do some harass with these workers. Panama Red doing a pretty good job with his forces, doing a pretty good job macroing. He's just now starting the +2/+2, and imagine we're going to see him start this as soon as he has enough gas, which will be in a few seconds, and that'll be wonderful to see when that's starting again. I love to see Terran players getting upgrades. Do a great job making a planetary at his 3rd, which is a decent choice because there is a 2nd interest, very vulnerable to Ling run-bys, and he does have this you see the turrets up, pretty good Terran positioning. He didn't build too many. He maybe wants to have one over here, but it would be really cool to see him start up with some Thor production. You see he does have the +2 weapons on the way, still no +2 armor for his units. But Poonpounder is just now starting to get his +1 attacks for his Zerglings as well, but he really needs to do something with these mutas, and they are good for the attacking, but the problem is there are not very many siege tanks, which means in an actual battle, the mutas will not be good for much more than picking off medevacs, and we actually have a whole bunch of medevacs, speaking of them, coming into the main of Poonpounder again. And there are no units here to help defend this. He's at risk of losing his spawning pool. He could lose his Evo chamber before it finishes in about 10 seconds. He runs his units back in, but if he gets in between these two buildings, he could get good enough positioning. He could do a lot of damage, but it looks like the Marines all will be going down. But we see Poonpounder definitely falling behind on the supply count. He is down 119 to 153 supply. The +2 attack is about to finish for Panama Red right here. Looks like we have a push coming out. There are currently very few tanks on the field, only 1 according to the unit staff. There's actually 2 now, 1 in this ball, 2 now, and the siege tech is just about to finish. So if he can make this attack do some damage, he'll be in very good shape. A whole bunch of banelings, but if he can avoid those banelings and get some good hits off them, so he needs some micro sieging. All the banelings going down before they even reach the Marines. He's doing a good job splitting the Marines. The siege tank's not getting off 2 great hits, but it looks like the Marines might have good enough spread to take out all these units. We will have to see. There are a lot of Marines. It looks like they are going to be able to take out all of the Zerglings, and the mutas are all going to fall now. He's not managing those correctly, and so all the mutas do fall. And Panama Red, while he did lose a lot in that engagement, is definitely ahead of his opponent through the drop. So he's going to come in and kill this base as well. This base has just started mining, but he's again not getting the gas. He's not doing too well on his upgrades, and I feel like Poonpounder is just getting a little bit outclassed by Panama Red in this game. But of course, both players just having a lot of fun. We all love to watch the StarCraft. They're running in here to the 3rd. They are going to be sniping it again, killing a whole lot of drones. So many units going down. The Zerglings are not going to have good enough positioning. You see, they're not even going to be able to do any damage there. They're all going down, up to 25 workers killed by Panama Red. And all his banelings are going to be able to get good kills, or good hits, but he is down by about 60 supply right now. There's another push waiting outside the Terran's base, and that is going to be pushed out right now. His 3rd is fully underway. He should probably grab that refinery right there, get a bit more tank production. He could get even Thors if he wanted. Keep getting those upgrades. We see the +3, +2 on the way. And that is, of course, very good upgrades, picking off some of the creep tumors, destroying one of the great achievements, which many Zergs love, is when they get this great creep spread out into the center of the map. So it looks like the Marine Marauder Force is going to be pushing, and here comes all the Zerglings running in, but there are not enough of them. There are no Banelings. Here come a few, but they only kill 2 or 3 Marines. The Marines are now going to be pushing into the base, killing off a whole bunch of Overlords, killing off drones. It looks like they will be able to kill the natural of Poonpounder as well, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hold this push. There is a Thor on the field as well, and there's the GG and the leaving of the game. So that was the first game, I believe, in this best of 3 series, so I'll be bringing you guys the next one very soon.